So yeah, that's a great point actually. Then the first webinar that we're doing today is on the regular kind of latest hike features, whereas next Monday we're going to do an agency features webinar. So yeah, today is just going through all the kind of latest updates we've rolled out over the past 3 to 4 months. Now, obviously, we send out a monthly email with a video that walks through the latest updates, but I thought, not everyone watches those, they can easily get missed. I thought, let's just do it in a webinar, probably half an hour or so for me to go through it all, and then we can do a Q&A at the end. I think Nadia should be on the chat. However, please feel free to drop your questions into the chat box as we go. And then what happens is at the end, Arthur, you've raised your hand. I don't know if there's a question you want to ask in the chat. But yeah, if everyone could just put their questions in the chat as we go. So if you see me run through a feature and you're like, oh, I didn't really understand that, or I've got a further question, or it can be about something else, put it in the chat. And then at the end of the webinar, I'll go through them and answer them. So yeah, it can be related to this webinar, or it can be something separate if you want. So this Monday, all about the latest features. For anyone here who's also an agency owner, next Monday, we're going to be running a webinar on the latest features for agency users. So an email will go out about that tomorrow where you can sign up for that. Okay, good stuff. Oh yeah, Nadia's in the chat. So yeah, she will answer any questions as we go, which might be quite handy. And then what I'll do is probably just go back over them at the end of the webinar, just for the sake of everyone else. All right, enough waffling. Let's get started. So I'm going to run through. I've got a little checklist here on my phone because I want to make sure I go through everything, and I don't want to really regurgitate stuff that you probably all know about. It should really be about our latest features and little tweaks that we've made, or bigger tweaks that can help you, one, just use the platform easier, right? We're always trying to improve the platform, and a lot of these improvements, if not probably all of them, come from our customers saying this would be better to do, or I don't like this, can you work on an improvement for this? So it is only because of you guys that we roll out 90% of our changes. So please, if you do spot anything that you think doesn't have to be a bug, it can just be like you don't like the way something works and you think it could work better, and then please do share it. That would be awesome. So yeah, I'm just going to go through what we've rolled out the last few months, fairly quick fire. Don't want this to be boring. I'm already boring you all, I'm sure. So let's get started. So yeah, the first thing I'm going to go through is just on the keywords tool. This is something we rolled out last month, and it's fairly subtle if you haven't seen it, but it's actually quite powerful. Is this little red warning symbol here? You can add negative keywords now. So any of you guys, you might not have used it for a while because you might have been a hike customer for a long time and you use this keyword tool maybe when you first started. But if anyone has done it recently, they'll know you spend quite a long time here, and it can take a while. And the same for all SEO tools, right? It can take a while just to go through and really dig down and go, right, what's the best keyword for me to use? Is it my competitors ranking for it? Is it a keyword I found from a search? What's the search volume? What's the priority like? And when you're searching, sometimes it can just be easier to filter out some keywords that you don't want, basically. You're like, this is getting in the way. So for example here, let's say, I'm looking here at some results it's brought back, and it keeps saying SEO tool. And let's say for whatever reason, I don't want to optimize this website, the hike website, for the word SEO tool. I don't want to call it tool. I always want to call it platform or software. So I don't want to find any keywords that got tool. But at the minute, look, everything says tool. It's not allowing me to see other keywords. It's really simple. Just add a little, click this button. You can add in a keyword filter. So add a new filter. So you can choose whether you want the value to equal it, contain it, start with, or end with. So you've got a lot of flexibility here. So I want to exclude any keyword that mentions the word tool. So I add that in there, click plus, and there you go. It's now excluded everything that contains the word tool that's come back in the keyword suggestions. And you can see there's 161. So it's actually quite a lot. And if you have a look in the background, because it kind of happens live, you can see, look, there's no keywords with tool anymore because they've all been removed. If I now remove this filter, he says, there you go. You can see him pop back in, right? So yeah, really nice, easy way just to speed up the amount of time it takes when you're looking for keywords. Because, it's 1% gains when you're doing keyword research. There's no magic pill. You have to spend the time doing the keyword research. But little 1% gains is what really, accumulates over time and compounds, and then just hopefully can, just improve your experience and help you find better keywords, because that's what SEO is all about, right? Ultimately, it's finding the best keywords and ranking for them. Right, cool. So I've done that. Right, next thing I want to run through, a little tweak we made last month as well, is on the content section. So content tools going to help you to find blog posts that you should, or titles for blog posts, or topics for blog posts that you should be creating to help support your SEO. Now, one of the big benefits of blog posts, if you do it right, is to support your existing keywords. So let's say, we're trying to rank for white label SEO, right? We're trying to rank for white label SEO on our white label. We've got a page on the Hike website that talks about the white label product, right? Now we want to rank for that. So what I would really want to do is, not only do I want to optimize that white label page, but it's only going to be so good, right? I mean, I'm only going to write great page styles, meta descriptions, H1s. The content's going to be great. I'm going to do some internal linking to it, etc. But it's only one page, right? What you can really do to kind of strengthen your opportunity to rank for that keyword is to create some blog posts which talk about that keyword, but in a more long tail option, and then create those blog posts and then link them to that white label SEO page, and vice versa, right? So you're creating an ecosystem of supporting blog posts. HubSpot developed this strategy a long time ago, or at least they're famous for it, called like the pillar posts, where actually you can do it from a blog post point of view. You can have like a main pillar post. It can be a pillar page or a pillar post, and then you create these supporting blog posts. So to really help you with that, what we did is, when you go to add a keyword here, which is put in a keyword to find content ideas, if you click the add keyword button, what will happen now is we'll automatically suggest the keywords that you're trying to rank for. So the keywords that you added into your basket over on the keyword ideas page, the keywords that you've said, hey, Hike, I want you to help me rank for this keyword, they'll now automatically be pulled through into here. So you can go, okay, right, I want to create some DIY SEO tool. Click the plus button, adds it into there, then you can add it to your content keyword. So it's just helping you to refine that. What's nice as well, though, is that now, so if I go to like white label SEO and look at the results that come here, if I decide, right, okay, I want to write a blog post that answers these 3 questions. If I click the plus button, right, now they're added to my scrapboard. You can see if I scroll to the bottom, where have they been added? Oh, there you go. They've been added in here. Oops, what's going on here? Sorry, just refresh the page. Okay, here, you can see now they've been tagged with that keyword. So now I know my content roadmap, these 3 blog posts are all to support the keyword white label SEO, right? And I can choose, right, this to be my pillar post. This is how we like to do internally when we're doing this for clients. This will be the pillar post. And then these ones that are indented, these are the questions that I want to answer within the actual blog post itself. Like, I don't need to create a blog post for all of these, 3 separate blog posts. Actually, this is going to be the kind of the main one, and then I'm going to answer these questions. So yeah, it's just a nicer way to kind of structure your content roadmap over the next few months and know, okay, I'm creating these blog posts because it's going to help me rank for white label SEO. These are the questions I want to answer. And then the next step for that is the content wizard. So I'm not going to run it right now because it'll take a while, because it just takes a couple of minutes to run. But this is another feature I want to run through. We did launch this probably 4 or so months ago. Yeah, I reckon probably September, August last year. But for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's a nifty little feature. For any of these blog post titles, now, by the way, here, you can add your own title. So even if it's not one you've had here, let's say a client's asked you to write a blog post on 10 tips now to improve my website's SEO, or whatever it might be, add it into here, add the content title, and you can still use the content wizard on there as well. Now, what the content wizard is, it uses AI. We've essentially trained an AI to output a content brief. So like a structure for you to write that blog post around. And it's really clever, these AI. You might have used other AI content tools that help you write kind of long form content. Jarvis is a great one, for example. There's some others out there, copy.ai. They're very, they're geared towards help you write content, but they're quite tricky to use. That technology probably isn't quite there yet. But where it is good and where we thought we could help our users the most is just to create a structure for them, right? That's, as you're writing blog posts, sometimes that's the trickiest thing. It's like, where do I start? I'm writing a blog post. What's a content marketing strategy? Who should I write it for? what should I write in my introduction? What should I write in my body and my conclusion? You know, what point should I be doing? And then you can go away and do you can go away and do the research once you have that skeleton. And this is what this is for. So it tells you, it gives you a target audience who you can write. You don't have to follow this. It's just guide. What style you should write it in, and then what the purpose of this blog post. You go, okay, it's done this for me. And then it tells you what you write into your introduction, which is great because sometimes the introduction you can get stuck even writing the introduction, right? That's the hardest part to start. Then, right, what should you write in the body? So, okay, the first section, explain what a content marketing strategy is, what it should include, what's the importance, give an example, talk about having it and why some people might not have one. And then it gives at the bottom, summarize the blog, then have a conclusion, and it gives you what to put in your conclusion. And you can, like I say, you can run it for the titles that you've added via the hike suggestions, or you can add your own title. And we've got some of our users that are really using this to great effect. You know, whether they're writing the blog post themselves or they're outsourcing blog content creation to like a blog writer, it's really helpful sometimes to have that skeleton. It can just speed up the amount of time it takes to write a blog post. All right, brilliant. So done those two. The next feature I want to run you through, and I feel this is a very underused feature, which is probably our fault because we've probably not advertised it enough. But let me try and tell you why we created this. When you're using Hike and you go to your actions and you're like, right, here you go. It's giving me some actions for our homepage, for the hikeseo.co homepage. Now, the amount of actions that we show will be based on how much time you've told Hike you can spend on SEO that month, which is a really nifty feature, right? A lot of our users say, well, I've only got 8 hours this month to spend on SEO, or 4 hours. So don't give me all the actions, just give me the actions that are going to have the most amount of impacts with 4 hours. So what you might find is the Hike platform will only show you a couple of actions for your homepage, but then it'll show you a couple of actions for an interior page. Now, that's not because we've only got 2 actions for your homepage. We might have loads more actions for your homepage, but because they're not going to provide, let's say, as great a return as if you did only 2 actions and then went on to another page and did those 2 high priority actions, we're not going to show all of those actions. But what some of our customers were saying was, when I come to work on my homepage, I actually just want to see all the actions, because if I'm doing 2 actions now, then another 2 actions next month, and another 2 actions the following month, it's actually sometimes taking a bit more time. I'd rather Hike just show me all the actions I need to do for my homepage, and I'll just do them all now, irrelevant of what the priority is. Because if I know Hike's recommending it, I know it's something I need to improve for my SEO. And we were like, really good point. Let's create something, and we call it the Page Explorer. And it's this little thing here called Inspect. So on any URL here, you can click this Inspect button. Now, if you click this Inspect button, what it's going to do when it loads, bad example because that's a 301 on that. Let me show one that's fancy case study agency. Let's inspect this. Okay, it's going to show you information, just all the information Hike has just for that one URL. Really, really handy if you just want to work a page at a time, which currently is no way to do in the actions. So it'll give you all the crawl data. You see all these tabs on the left here, all the crawl data, all your technical stuff, all your content-based stuff, page content, all your images, just loads of technical data about the page. Here you go. This is where it gives you every single action we have for that page. So if you want a place to get every action for one page, you want to inspect and come to this page level explorer. It will show you all the keywords that page ranks for. Again, really, really handy. You can use the content wizard for just for that page. Again, really handy. It will show you all the backlinks just to that page. Now, you can't get this information within the backlink section because it shows you everything. So if you want to see backlinks on a page by page level, you've got to use the page level explorer. Inbound links, so you can see all your internal links and anchor text, really, really helpful. Outbound links, so links externally. And then reporting, it will show you any keyword data that we've got for that. Not pulling through for there at the moment. So yeah, it's such a handy feature. Such a handy feature. And again, I don't think everyone knows about this. There's 2 ways in which you can get to these pages. One, you can access it just from the actions. The only thing there is, let's say you want to see it for a page which hasn't come up in your actions. Another place where you can see it is in your settings. So if you click here on your settings, you see this button called View X Pages Found. If you click on there, it gives you every page that we've crawled on the website. So this is quite a nifty feature people don't know about either. It gives you their response code, all the URLs, and you can see, look, for all of them, you can click on inspect and then get through. So if you want to go to that page level explorer for any URL, you want to go to settings in your actions and then click on view X pages found. All right, brilliant. That one's done. Okay, next over to reporting keywords. Let me show you a good example. We have a lot of cannibalization. Yeah, this one here. All right, keyword ranking analysis. Right, here we go. As you're all hike customers, you might have seen the action maybe a few times, maybe many times, maybe only once, or maybe not at all if your SEO is really good, that says Google's getting confused about which page to rank. If you've watched any of our videos in the past, or if you've gone through the academy, you'd have heard us use the term cannibalization. Now, cannibalization, what it essentially means is there are multiple pages on your website that are ranking for the same keyword. Whether you're trying to optimize them for the same keyword or Google just sees them as relevant for the same keyword, it doesn't matter. It's still cannibalization. So here we can go. The keyword SEO agency software. Now, previously, if you'd have come to this page, you'd have seen that just that line at the top, right, which just showed you changing over time. But what you wouldn't have seen is, were they all the same URL? Is it the same page that's always ranked over time? Or actually, is it just different pages are dropping in and out? And that's what's causing the cannibalization. Whereas now you can see this. So this is really handy. So we've got cannibalization issues here. So sometimes it's our homepage that ranks. If you have a look over to the right there, I'm pointing like you can see my finger, which you can't. Over on the right, you can see it's our homepage at the minute that ranks for SEO agency software. But we don't really want that. We want this page to rank, which is hikeseo.co/agency. That's our page that talks that's the page where the content on it is just focused towards agencies. I don't want them really landing on the homepage. I want them landing on there because that's where we're going to convert better. And then even at one random point back in early September, the startups, which is a completely different page ranked. So now I can see how prevalent this problem is, because you can see, look, over the past, well, even this year, the agency, it does fluctuate between the homepage and the agency page. So now I know, oh, that's clever. I actually didn't realize that. If you click on them, it drops it out. There you go. Even I've learned something new. So yeah, it can really help to show that cannibalization. Really, really nifty feature. If you're seeing keyword just won't go up for whatever reason, we can rank a lot higher for this. The reason we're not is because we've got this cannibalization, which ultimately is a quick fix, right? If we can sort this out, so Google just ranks the agency page, not anything else, we're going to get much quicker, higher rankings without doing anything else. So yeah, that's really handy. This is also really nice. Really, really like this, but I think it works better on, if I go back to keywords, click on the average ranking. Here shows your average ranking over time. And again, it shows it over the length of how long you've been with Hike now. If I now click show algorithm updates, this is really cool. So each of these black lines is a mark on a date where Google rolled out an algorithm update, an official algorithm update. So not something that someone claims Google update. It's when they've come out and said, yes, an update happened here. And what you're really looking for is you're looking for a correlation between a Google update and an impact in rankings, either up, down, or sometimes even sideways. So you can actually see, let's see around here, this November 2021 update, we were fairly low, and then we had a bit of a increase since then. One thing you can do is zoom in. So if I want to see this period a bit more, because it looks a bit busy there, click on that. There you go. It zooms in. And now I can see around this time we had the June 2021 core update, then the spam update, and the July core update. No significant movements, so it didn't really impact us. And then underneath, what it does is then filters and just shows these updates with a description of each one. So you can go, oh, what was the spam update? Okay, it's this one here. And it can read more. And then you can go away and do some research more into it. We're going to build these out over time, so there's a bit more of a guide. But for the moment, at least you can see this correlation. So yeah, really, really nifty little feature that I really like what the developers have done. Okay, great. Right, 25 minutes past. That's good. I don't think I'll be probably about another 5-10 minutes before we can go into the Q&A. So I won't keep you guys much longer. Reported. Really proud of this one. Absolutely love this feature. Hopefully everyone here knows about it. We did shout it from the rooftops when it launched, but let me just quickly run through it because we've got some updates that were actually just rolled out today. which should be fairly helpful for everyone. So for people who haven't used the report builder, what have you been doing? It's a really, really easy way to create an SEO report. Actually, we get a lot of questions from our users. Even just a small business user. If this is you're someone that's using it for your own website. You're like, why should I create an SEO report? I always say, well, what's the point in? Do you have reports for anything else? They'd be like, yeah, I have reports for my PPC or reports for my business performance. Well, then you should do it for SEO. Reports are such a great way of getting a snapshot of how you're doing on a particular discipline or in a particular area. So even if you're a small business owner, right, set up a report, schedule it to be sent to you once every month. And then once every month, you can get an email that says, here's your SEO report. You can look at it, okay, how my rankings doing, because not everyone can log in or wants to log into Hike every single day, see how their rankings are doing. And you can show how your traffic's doing, what kind of SEO work you've completed. So I'd really recommend that everyone uses this, because reports are such a great way of seeing your progress. And Hike's all about progress, right? We try and help everyone do stuff. It's a doing tool, right? It's not an analyzing or, fancy tool like that. It's a doing. We want people to get their hands dirty and just do stuff. So yeah, really, really important. So yeah, let me show you a couple of the new widgets that are on. For everyone else that's used it, you'll be more au fait with this. I think that's the word. But yeah, let me show you. So you can create a report from a template. I've created one earlier. Let's have a quick look here. So this is one of the templates called SEO Report Expert. So really quick to set it up. But we've rolled out a couple of new widgets, which I want to show you. So some nifty little updates. What I like now is if you click on the page, you see here, it automatically scrolls you down to that page. Previously, if you clicked on it, you then had to scroll all of the way, which wasn't the best. Whereas now you click on it and basically it just scrolls down. So yeah, the new widgets that we've launched, they are these: domain authority over time. So in Hike, we check your backlinks. Once a month, we'll crawl and we'll grab all your backlink data. We grab it from a backlink data provider called Majestic, who are I think they're the world's biggest backlink scraper. Yeah, very renowned, great at what they do. We use their data. We couldn't improve upon it. So what we do is we track your domain authority, your score from, if someone doesn't know what domain authority is, it's your score from 0 to 10. Well, some people use 100. People have different numbers they use, different ranges. We use from 0 to 10 that shows the strength of your website based on the quantity and quality of backlinks. So essentially what you want is you want a higher domain authority score. Closer to 10, perfect. Or you just want to see progress over time. So what you can do now is every single month you can run this widget and it will show you your domain authority score, and it kind of tracks it as a line graph here. So really, really nice. So you can see for Hike back in February 2020, we were around 4 domain authority. Now we're at 7. We were up at 8. Yes, we've really increased it. I mean, how we do our backlink building, it's no secret. We use journalist outreach. That's pretty much exclusively how we backlink build. It's free, doesn't cost us anything, uses our expertise. Anyway, I digress. But anyway, really, really nice. You can track your domain authority over time. So that's one of the brand new widgets. Another one is competitor comparisons. So if you go to the competition section, all the competitors that you add in, you can compare your domain against theirs in terms of keyword performance, so how many keywords you've got ranking, and backlink stats, so how you compare in terms of backlinks to them. You can now pull that through into the report as well. So you can pull it in 2 ways. You can do just the keyword comparison and then the backlink stats. So I've done it here. Let me just go to edit the thing here. So you add in your competitors. You can only add a maximum of 3. So I've done these 3. Let me just. This is dangerous. I'm testing something live on a demo with lots of this demo. Loads of people. It's more than that. Let's do search engine journal. There you go. Keywords. Change all the metrics. All the usual good stuff. Click update. I'll tell you what, because sometimes it can take a little bit. Probably not the best for a demo. Let's just do this. Okay, great stuff. So yeah, you can see. Look, it's pulled in that new competitor there, and you can see. Here's our website stats. So keyword performance versus these guys. I mean, all these guys are huge. We're never going to compare to those guys, or not now anyway. In the future, yes, but right now we can't. But you can see, right, how many keywords we've got on position 1 compared to those guys. All keywords, estimated traffic, based on all those keywords. And then backlink stats is exactly the same thing, right? Shows you your website in comparison to your competitors. So yeah, really, really handy new widgets that just complement all the existing widgets that we've got, right? So if you click address, we've got so many widgets in there at the minute to really help you build the most comprehensive report. So let's see. Oh, and then the final thing I want to show on this is, let's scroll right to the very top. You can schedule them, which is something we didn't roll out immediately with the report builder, but we've rolled it out now, so everyone should see this. You can basically now create a report schedule to be sent. So sent as often as you want, right? So you go in here, you change your frequency, so you can send it once, you can send it daily, weekly, monthly. If you choose once, you can send it immediately. And then what you do is you choose your date range. Oh no, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is when you want the date to be sent. So I'm saying send it once, I want it to be sent tomorrow, 4:45 in the evening. And then here you set your date range. And what this basically means is all of the widgets within the report, so the GA widgets, the ranking widgets, they all use the date range, right? So they're like, where were you ranking in this date range? How much traffic do you have in this date range? When you create this email schedule, because it's going to run every, let me see, because it's going to run monthly, right? Then what you want it to do, you might want to set it as like every report just shows the last 30 days versus the previous 30 days. So that means every time that report is delivered to you, your inbox, it's all the widgets going to show the last 30 days versus the previous 30 days. And it's going to be sent to you every month. So it's a monthly SEO report. Really, really handy. Click continue. And then you can set up what the email should say. So the actual email itself. So I want to send this to myself. I can CC in my colleagues or maybe our support at hikeseo.co. And then put your subject. I'll just put test there. And then you can build out your email. So you've got all these autofill tags on the right. So let's say here, I wanted to, no, that would be, yeah, copy that, download link. So I might write, here is your download link. There you go. And you click and hold to preview, and then shows you what it will look like. So it pre-fills those variables with actually what will show in there. And then click save. And then that email will be scheduled, whatever you do to set up that schedule. So if I click save, schedule save. And if I want to see all of my schedules, go back to my reports. Click on my schedules, tomorrow. Here you go. I can see all my schedules. So here's the one I've just set. So it's for this report. It's the date range last 30 days, comparing against previous period. I want it to send monthly. Oh, you set your first date and last date, and it tells you when the next delivery is. And then you can edit all the schedule settings there. Really, really handy. Set up for yourself. You know, if there's one thing, if you're a small business, one thing you should do right now after this, go in, use one of our templates, SEO Report Expert, and then just schedule it to send to yourself every month. And then, you know, every month you're going to receive an SEO report. And you can click in and just see how things are going, right? Do you need to work more on it this month? Do you need to work less? Well, never work less, but you know what I mean. Right, that's pretty much it. So I've run through negative keywords, the content roadmap, the content wizard, page level explorer, cannibalization graphs and the keywords, the algorithm updates you can overlay, and then the report builder with the new widgets and the scheduler. So that's everything. I can see there's loads of chats, 13 chats. So I'm gonna go through here. Tell you what, is it worth, Nadia, I'm going to unmute you, and it might be worth you running through the questions with me. Let me see if I can view all participants. Wait, sorry, I've put a chair in front of the door. You're just gonna come in. Okay, everyone, welcome, Nadia. Hey, you'll be through here, so you'll have to talk quite loud. So do you want to go through the questions?
Okay, yes. So we had a few questions earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we had a question around Content Wizard and how much it costs, to which I responded to. So you get 15 credits per website per month, and if you did want to upgrade it, I'll put it down below. It's an additional $20 or £14 per month
for unlimited credits.
Yes.
Yeah, one thing I say, guys, is sometimes if anyone's used an AI-based content generation tool, they can sometimes not return the data they should do. You have to run them twice. If that happens, just drop a message through our support. We'll just give you the credits that you've used that you didn't get the right content back, and we'll just refresh your credits for that. So yeah, just let us know if that happens.
Bob Wild did have a general question around blog. So I have 40 plus blogs on my site. Should I rewrite the blogs that I'm not doing well with high search volume, or should I just concentrate on writing new blogs? To which I did already answer, where I said it's good to rewrite your existing blog posts when you know there's a lot of search volume around it, and then just focus your efforts on any other topics you haven't covered, so then you can start generating other traffic.
Yeah, I think it's an age-old question, isn't it? Should you go back and update old blog posts, or should you create new ones? Something else to bear in mind is that if your old content isn't very good, if you look at it and go, this just isn't very good, then that could have a negative impact on your SEO performance. Yeah, what a lot of people do is they like to do a bit of a content audit, and I like to do this. When I used to work on client campaigns, and the team do it now, is go back, have a look at those older blog posts and see if they're actually generating any organic traffic. So in GA, they're actually driving any SEO visits. 2, are they driving any impressions? So if they're not driving many visits, they could still be getting a few impressions. So have a look in Google Search Console. So set the date range for maybe like 3 months, and then put in a few of your blog posts and see how many impressions, how many clicks, how much traffic they've had. If they've not had anything, then Google really doesn't like that blog post, right? It's doing nothing for you because Google isn't showing it for any keyword or sending any traffic to it. So in that case, unless it's performing another function that's important for that website, like it needs to be there as a help guide, it's very important, then it might be worth just culling it and getting rid of it, because Google doesn't particularly like it. And if you have too much content that Google doesn't like, that it perceives as being thin, and thin doesn't always mean just not enough words. It could be thin because Google doesn't think the quality of that blog post is very good, then cull it or combine multiple ones of them together, or rewrite it. Yeah, that's definitely something to do. On a case-by-case basis. Does Google like the blog post? Send any traffic? If not, then try and deal with it that way. Thank you.
The other one's from Dave, which I haven't actually answered. So what does freeze data on a widget?
Yeah, great question. You're best to answer this because it was your team's request.
Yeah, it was our team's request, because when you create reports every single month, so let's say what we found is when we put the keyword ranking data, and the process we go through, somebody creates reports, obviously you get it overlooked the next day, for example, and the next day the keyword rankings are different. So all of the notes you made, you have to change it because the data has changed. So what you can do now is freeze that data there and then, so it's not going to change by the time you kind of give it to the customer, if you wanted to really focus on some of the benefits that you saw that specific day. But other times you might just want to keep it live to really show kind of the live status. So it's kind of up to you. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so the issue we were having is one of the team member would create a report today, right? But then it wouldn't get looked over by Nadia or one of the other team the next day. By the next day, the widget's updated because our rankings have changed overnight. So the commentary that said, hey, you're at position 1 for this, you might be down to position 2. So you have to rewrite that commentary. So now you can, in the report, you can freeze the data, which means it will always stay as it was that day you create, well, when you freeze it. Cool.
And the very last one is from Adam Burridge. So this is an agency question. Do you have to create a report for each client, or can we copy this across multiple clients? Great question.
Yeah, you'd need to go into each client and create the report. Yeah, you can't. If I get the question, would you just like say, I want to use this template for all of these clients, like a tick box underneath all these clients, it just sends to all of them? You'd need to actually log into your client here, go into there, create the report, schedule it. I mean, you can obviously create from a template. And when you create a report as a template, let's say I've got a report here. Let me see if I can do it on the fly. If I click this, that's the schedule. So sorry, let me go back to my reports. So I've created this report for a client, right? Or a website in my account. If I tick this, I can use it to create a template. If I use it to create a template, I can choose down here what the scope is. And if I choose organization, it then means I can use that exact same template across, let me just close this down, across all the websites that are in my account. So yeah, that's probably the quickest way for you to do it, Adam, is to create it as a template, change the scope to organization, then that same template can be used across all the websites you have in your account. Perfect. Cool. Oh, I'm glad that's what you're looking for, Adam. Brilliant. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much, everyone that's joined. As I mentioned, I've recorded this using Zoom, unfortunately, but thank you for your recommendations on the other ones I can do. All right, brilliant. And we'll send this out tomorrow. So yeah, great. All right, thanks everyone. Have a great evening. If you've got any comments, like I said before, any improvements for the platform, please just drop them live chat, email, carrier pigeon, whatever. Like, just let us know if there's anything we could do to improve. All right, brilliant. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.